Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Star Rail. And in today's video, we've done this type of video before. It's a whole lot of fun. We're going to try to predict both the main banners, including the paths and the elements of the characters, alongside the reruns that will go with them for 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and even 2.6. We're going the whole way. Why are we going so far this time? Well, a lot of it is from, I did a video on this recently, the live stream where they themselves have teased a bunch of these characters which are going to be coming soon. So we now have a whole bunch of extra info that we wouldn't normally have. We're obviously going to be diving into a lot of speculation, in today's video. So yeah, if you don't like speculation type videos, then this might not be for you. But I hope that you will enjoy nonetheless. So look, this is where we are. We're going into 2.3 next. And I've basically split these into the two halves. So 2.3.1 and 0.2. And this is already confirmed. Firefly with Ron May, and then Jade with Argenti. Let's break this down then step by step. So in 2.4, we know already the new characters that are coming. Yun Li, who is Physical and Destruction, and Zhao Chu, who is Fire and Nihility. And we also know that it's been confirmed now. I've put it in as March 2nd, but it's, March 7th, a new form for her, and that she is going to be a 4-star imaginary hunt character and probably free. I mean, we'll see. We will see. But it looks to be something like, I guess, like the Trailblazer, and that she'll be able to switch paths or something like that, which is pretty cool. So an interesting set of characters. Let's look at the reruns. And I did a video on this before as well, looking at, this was based off of a really good Reddit post by Seam, who really visually well represented how long it has been since previous banners have gone. So we're very much due a few characters. Let's look at them, like Zila, Wawa, Argenti and Rame are in there, Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, even Dr. Ratio, Black Swan, and so on. So where do we think these will fall? What do we think will happen? Well, let's make a bold guess first. And I am being here somewhat inspired by 2.3. What are we having happening in 2.3? Well, we're having, the new best break character run with the old best break character. In fact, they do synergize a lot. We also have, again, the possibly new best erudition going against the old best erudition or pure fiction-y type characters. Let's jump right to 2.4.2, where we've got Zhao Chu, this Fire Nihility. People are saying that he's likely going to be a really good Acheron support. So he's going to be a Nihility that's more focused on debuffing, all that sort of stuff. Here's my prediction. I think they could run Silverwolf alongside Zhao Chu just to make people sweat. So you're going, oh, well, I really want the single target debuffing of Silverwolf, and this is super valuable with this, the new game mode, right? Where I can implant weaknesses into these bosses, and that's really useful. But then I also want this guy who's this really general debuffer as well. And, Acheron is top tier. Well, Silverwolf is really good with her. So could this guy be, the pressure? What do we do? I think that's the sort of really evil thing that makes a lot of sense to me. So I think that's what could happen. And then I do think as well, I think they might mix in then the Wawa, and in particular because I think there could be some abundance and even preservation characters coming later as well. So I'm actually going to predict the Wawa might come in here, who's this wind abundance. She's really good with any dot teams. Because she provides energy and attack with her ultimate. It's really nice as well. She's a good sustain to go with Robin and those teams as well. So yeah, I think this might be a nice place to run her. It would also fit in well with the theme here of going back to the Xianzhou. So I think that sort of makes sense to fit her in here. Jumping on then, so we've got a few of these new characters that have been revealed. So just to recover who they are, and in case you haven't seen them, by the way, Yun Li, this is her, Physical Destruction, and Zhao Chu, this is him, Fire Nihility. What else do we have? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong, by the way. These names are tough. I'm trying my best. We've got Fei Xiao, the Merlin's Claw. We have Zhao Chu, he's in the same one. We've got Moze, the weirdo. We have Huayan, and this is very interesting. These two, Fei Xiao and Huayan, are big deals. They are Arbiter generals. We'll touch on that. Yun Li, and then Lingsha. So these are the other ones we've got to touch on here: Lingsha, Fei Xiao, and Huayan. So let's touch on this. First of all, what I meant by saying that these are Arbiter generals, right? Jing Yuan, he's an Arbiter general. These are like for each of the different Xianzhou ships, they're basically like the general. They're the main man or main woman, the main person in charge. Jing Yuan for the La Fu. And we actually got a lot of, I think, potential hints as to their paths and their elements from their names. I might even do a whole video on this, but, he is called the Divine Foresight. He's wise and brave. So, you can see the erudition coming through. He's wise, foresight. All right, erudition. Okay, I see where it's coming from. That's cool. Lightning? That's not so clear, but erudition certainly fits. Now, the two new ones that we have confirmed are these two right here that are confirmed to be coming soon. Fei Xiao, the Merlin's Claw, fierce and swift. Well, the speculation around her has been pretty. I'm actually going to say that she's probably coming here in 2.5.1. That's going to be my guess. And the speculation has been pretty consistent, and it also fits with the theme that she could be a wind hunt character. I think that fits really well with this idea of fierce and swift. Okay, hunt fits with that. Wind fits with that. Yeah, okay, I can see that. So that makes a whole lot of sense that she could come in and be pretty cool. I'd be certainly very interested if they're going to have summons like spirits as well, and how that will work. I think that would be awesome. I think that is the intention, that each of these Arbiter generals will have a summon like Jing Yuan's Lightning Lord that will do cool stuff. Let me actually touch on Huayan next. So I've not seen any speculation on, so let me speculate. Number one, he's called the Flaming Heart, and his descriptor is strong and righteous. Now, what that immediately says to me, I mean, an element it's jumping out to me, I'm channeling, it's coming through. Yeah, I'm going to make a bold prediction here, and I'm going to say maybe he might come in the next patch after that, but the Flaming Heart, strong and righteous, here we go. I'm guessing he could be a fire preservation character. I think this could be really interesting. If we jump back to him as well, partially I'm inspired by the silhouette here. But I'm thinking about preservate. Well, number one, fire. He's the Flaming Heart. That's obvious. Why preservation, though? Well, I think preservation fits with being sort of like the heart of the team. I think it fits with the idea of being strong and righteous. That speaks to me about preservation. I mean, strong and righteous, that's the one that stands out. I mean, the Flaming Heart, strong, it could also be abundance, like healing up. That I could see that as being, the heart and health and stuff. But I feel like preservation is what seems most likely in terms of lore to me. And it reminds me of, if you guys ever played World of Warcraft, the old Brewmaster Monk, okay? Because I'm thinking here, what sort of ways could they have, what new twists could they have on preservation characters, right? We have 5-star ones. We've got Fu Xuan, right? Damage reduction, reduces the damage that your team takes, and she takes some of it. Then we've got Aventurine, tons of shielding for the team. Now, Aventurine fits very well into follow-up teams as well. Fu Xuan fits quite well into hyper carry teams, gives them CC protection, gives them bonus crit rate. What other twist could we have? And this is where we go to that Brewmaster Monk from World of Warcraft. They have something called stagger, where when they take damage, instead of getting they take the damage up front, they turn a big chunk of that damage into a dot, right? Into damage over time that happens slowly, and then they're actually able to purify it off to remove the dot with other abilities, and that's sort of part of the skill is of managing that. I think that could be a really cool gameplay style for Huayan. That basically he comes in, whenever your team gets hit, they take a bit of damage up front, but he turns a lot of it into a dot. And then again, going back to this idea of the Arbiter generals with their summons, maybe whenever his summon takes the turn, it removes that dot from your team, thereby preventing that damage. And then also tying into this sort of fire idea, maybe it turns it into a fire dot on the enemies and contributes damage that way. That could be pretty cool. It could be pretty cool, and would also, again, give him a bit of a niche, right? Because we're looking at the niches for these characters. Aventurine is the most obvious one, where he works so well with follow-up teams. Now, there are two other types of teams I think that this could potentially synergize very well with. The obvious one is a dot team, right? A preservation, a sustain that actually puts dots out on the enemy proactively. That would work really well. Now, we're actually going to jump the gun here, and we're going to put in, I think, a cool rerun to run with him, which would be the other way that this sort of stagger mechanic would synergize, plus Blade. Now there is a story reason for this as well. Blade, Huaiyan, I think, is the longest living person in the Xianzhou. Hopefully I'm getting this lore right. I might be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure he's the longest living person. He actually was the master. One of his apprentices was Blade, back when Blade was like a normal person, right? And not Mara-struck or any of that. So that would be a really cool story tie-in that they could work well together. Well, Blade, he's a destruction character, and I'm wondering if Yun Li might do something similar. But Blade, very specifically, he loves dots on him, because whenever he takes damage, it gives him a stack and helps him do his follow-up. So guess what? A preservation character or some sort of sustain that turns damage into dots for your team, that would power up Blade, and I think there's a really cool story between that then. I think that'd be cool. It'd be a new type of sustain, fits in really well, works with the dot team, works with like these destruction characters that like to take damage. To me, that's kind of a win-win and would be super awesome. So I'd love to see this. We'll see. I mean, we're predicting very far ahead here. So this is where it gets, much more sketchy, but man, how cool would that be? How freaking cool would that be? Now, the other characters, we've got two more. Lingsha, right? So we can see her, and I'm actually predicting that she, therefore, might be a physical abundance. I've seen a lot of speculation that this character could be a fire abundance, and that could well be true. And people are speculating that she could be a break type character. I think that also makes a lot of sense, right? Break teams, they're the new hot team, right? Firefly, Ron May, Harmony Trailblazer, Boot Hill, etc. We obviously have Gallagher, who is a 4-star abundance that does break, but we don't have a 5-star sustain that focuses on break, right? No 5-star sustain for break. So I think that Lingsha could be that. Now, people are speculating fire. I think, if Huaiyan is fire and if Zhao Chu is fire, that's a lot of fire back to back to back. I don't know. That feels like to me like it might be too much. I think her being a physical abundance that focuses, sort of specializes in break teams, I think that would work really well, honestly. It ties in well with Boot Hill. That's great. There's already Gallagher to synergize well with Firefly, but I'm sure she would synergize really well with Firefly as well. I also think, again, in terms of the theming, right, I think what she has is like a sensor that she waves around. That could be, wind would fit well theme-wise with that. Fire as well, lighting stuff, being a cauldron master. I think physical works well too. Right, just you're waving a thing around, you're stirring cauldrons. This is quite physical, real stuff. Like swinging around incense is something that we actually have in real life. It's quite physical, so I think that could also fit. Physical and fire are the two strongest breaks. So yeah, I'm guessing that. I think it'd be quite fun. We shall see. We shall see. And then we've got a couple of more fun speculations for you. Let's throw it in. So Moze, he is the last one that's been revealed that we don't know exactly what he's going to be. Now, the speculation right now is that he might actually be a 4-star character. And you know what? There is a Lafu character I think people would be really hyped to see, and it would be a fun twist that has not been revealed. So let's run with it. Let's go. Let's say Moze, I think that's how you say it, will be a 5-star. This is what people are guessing, a Lightning Hunt character. We don't have a 4-star Lightning Hunt. It would fit in well. We're getting a lot of Hunt characters kind of in a row here. But I think that could also work quite well with the new game mode, which is coming in. So having, a few Hunt characters back to back sort of fits in all right. And again, they could have very different mechanics. So he could be pretty fun as Hunt. He looks very much like an assassin. I could also see him being some sort of Nihility character. We've got quite a few 4-star Nihility characters already. But But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But let's say he is that 4-star lightning hunt, and there we go. We're having sort of the free characters spaced out. Harmony Trailblazer in 2.2, March 2nd, or 7th or 8th or whatever you want to say in 2.4, and maybe Moze in 2.6. There's a bit of a rhythm there. Well, who the heck then could be coming in 2.6.2? And the second part of that, well, here's a bold prediction, which is Ting Yun, right? I've seen some people speculating that she could be coming soon, as well as Sunday, and I'd be very hyped for that. Very, very hyped. How about Ting Yun coming back as an Ice Nihility? It's kind of like, Don Hung had he was a 4-star Wind Hunt. He came then with his 5-star as an Imaginary Destruction. Very, very different. I think, Ting Yun coming back, this could definitely tie in with March and that sort of storyline as well, if that's something that is going to show up during this sort of Xianzhou storyline, right? Like March, she's tied to this ice and being preserved in ice. Maybe something like Ting Yun actually did survive somehow through this sort of power of ice and remembrance, and she's come back. And then why am I saying Nihility? I just think that could be kind of funky, right? She comes back and she could be a character that is maybe focused on making damage over time teams more powerful. Again, something that would synergize really well with Dot, which gives you that sort of tension with Hua Yan as well. Going, okay, well, he's potentially good with dots. She's good with dots too. And let's touch on the reruns that might be coming with this. But yeah, like she would obviously fit in with this storyline, which is the very much Xianzhou storyline. She could come elsewhere, but yeah, I don't know. The most straightforward speculation, of course, would be that Moze would just be one of these, and that's it. It's Yunli, Xiao Chu, Fei Xiao, Lingsha, Hua Yan, Moze. That's it. They're the 6 characters that have been revealed. They're the 6 that are going to be the next 6 limited characters. Plus, obviously, March has been revealed as well. But I think an extra twist thrown in here kind of makes sense. And it just mixes it up. So let's look at this. And Dot characters, well, there's a little bit of a hint. Now, over here, so we've got Blade. I'm going to say maybe Zila could come in here. Zila has been the longest character without a banner by a mile. So she could definitely come in really at any point. Like, she could easily come in here instead of Hua Hua, and we could have Hua Hua. Or it could be like Zila, Hua Hua, then Silver Wolf over here. They could, stagger Xiao Chu and Silver Wolf a patch. I don't know. I definitely think Zila is due to come back. She fits in, again, well with this sort of new Hunt game mode. She's definitely not very hyped up. So here we'd be running, we're going with a bit of a bold prediction of Nihility and Nihility at the same time, and then Hunt and Hunt. I think Zila definitely comes off the worst in this. Fei Xiao as an Arbiter General, she's going to be pretty hyped up, I would say. Zila definitely as the original limited character, not exactly going to be too favorable. I think she's probably going to rerun, though, at some point. She has to go somewhere. So it might be there. I could easily see her coming back in 2.4 as well. But Zila is definitely due a rerun. Then we come to the spicier ones. And here I'm thinking, okay, well, what if YN could potentially synergize decently well with Dot? What about Ting Yun? And, I talked about this with trying to cluster characters together that build on the sort of same foundations. Like, we saw a lot of follow-up characters back to back. We're seeing a lot of break characters back to back. We're definitely due to have some Dot characters back to back. So first of all, I think Kafka is obviously due to come back soon. So look, it's the 2 Dot characters, and I think it makes sense for them to run them very close together. And I'm going to put in Black Swan here as well. So the idea here would be, okay, if Ting Yun comes back and she's some sort of character, I was saying Ice Nihility. So I'm imagining, like, okay, maybe she makes Dots more powerful. Dots, you kind of want enemies to take a turn to trigger the Dot. Maybe she forces enemies' turns forwards, but they're frozen in ice. So they miss their turn. It's like they take their turn, they take Dot damage, but they've missed their turn because they were frozen. You could do some fun stuff. You could do some fun stuff with that, with the Nihility thing. I think you could rerun Black Swan then alongside her, being like, "Ooh, that's a sick combo." This is like running Robin and Topaz together. Ting Yun and Black Swan. Okay, a crazy Dot enhancer plus probably the most powerful Dot character in the game. And I think Kafka would be rerun pretty close to that as well. And probably Acheron too on the other side, to really put the pressure on for dot players, for Nihility players, to try to stack these up as much as possible. So I think that sort of fits in and would make sense. I think then for 2.7, the rumors are that we could see Sunday as an imaginary Harmony character. I think that could be cool as well. I'd love to see him maybe focus somewhat on potentially boosting summons. Could be cool, right? That could be cool if Fei Xiao and Hua Yan are two summon type characters. That would be awesome. Or I could see him as well being a character that would synergize well with, Robin. I could see him being the actual 5-star Ting Yun, right? I don't think Ting Yun would come back and they'd just be like, it's Ting Yun as the 4-star, but now she's a 5-star. She's better. I think bringing in Sunday as a Harmony, he's speculated for 2.7 would be Sunday. 2.7, which is Sunday, Imaginary Harmony, which I would love, by the way, and I'm super hyped for Sunday. I think him being a Ting Yun type character would work really well, like boosting energy. Now, obviously, all of the 5-star Harmony characters give you, a big chunk of just damage increase, just sort of flat damage increase. And then they all do sort of their own special thing. I could easily see Sunday being like, I boost energy. I don't know, maybe I give you a bunch of speed and sort of general action advance. That could work really well. Like you could run him with Robin and be like, okay, cool. I'm giving energy to Robin, boosting damage, and everyone's got more speed, so everyone gets more turns when Robin's in her mode. Maybe every time a character deals damage, they get some energy back. Okay, that could make him a good character with dot type characters. Oh, yeah, the dots do damage, you get some energy. Really good with follow-ups. And like Robin, whenever Robin joins in with her ultimate damage, she gets some energy back. Okay, cool. So he's sort of like the energy battery like Ting Yun is. He'd be sort of 5-star Ting Yun, and Ting Yun would be something different. There we go. That's a whole bunch of very bold predictions. Let me know, what do you think about this? Yeah, it's sort of trying to figure out what will be the most unpleasant arrangement of reruns to happen, right? What are the ones that really make you go, oh my god, this is crazy? That's sort of been my goal here, like Yun Li coming in with Hua Hua. Oh, that's a pretty tough one. Xiao Chu with Silver Wolf. Oh, that's really frustrating. You're driving me nuts. Over here, being like, the cornerstone of dot teams, Kafka, plus then, a potential cornerstone for break teams, like the sustain for break. You're killing me here. On top of Fei Xiao could be crazy. Zila's a bit of a throwaway. Then Blade, potentially Hua Yan being a type of character that makes him better, making that banner not just sort of suck. Again, it would be sort of all the wind damage back to back, but it'd be like, okay, he's making Blade good, maybe. That could be cool, right? That would be something that makes this banner enticing. And then, yeah, Ting Yun enhancing Dot, being like, oh, there with Kafka and Black Swan, right? I'm trying to arrange this to make it and design the characters or speculate for the characters in a way that makes it the toughest decisions possible that you want to be sick. Because that's their goal, isn't it? That you sit down and you go, man, I want every character. I want all of those. Get the credit card. I want them all. That's their goal. So there you go. Let me know. What do you think? Yeah. What order do you think these banners are going to come in? Which characters are you most excited to see come back? I'm curious. Like for me, I'm really looking forward to Yun Li. I kind of like the new characters more. So Kafka is a big one that I would like to grab because I do have Black Swan. So Kafka. Blade, I have to say, is one of my favorite characters. But it's tough to justify picking him up if I do get, especially when I got Black Swan already. When there's a wind weakness, you're like, let's just run a dot team. I run Black Swan Sampo right now, so having Kafka would be great. And Yun Li would give me a physical damage, which I currently don't have built on my accounts. But anyway, listen, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this speculation, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.